Hello everyone, and welcome to Forming Technologies, and my name is Mazin Kaju, and today we're going to be talking about Sculpture Die Phase 3.0. We'll fire up Sculpture Die Phase. Once you fire up Sculpture Die Phase, you'll get two options, a new project or open project. We'll go ahead and create a new project, and I want to go down to my directory here, and Sculpture Die Phase, bring in this panel. I just format, we have many options you can bring in, but I just seems like it's the fastest way and the easiest way to bring in a file. And any CAD system can create I just format, and we find it to be really quick. Now as the system brings in the file, it separates the file into three domains, domain 1, 2, and 3, and you can rename these domains so you can keep an idea where everything's coming from. Once it separates the domain, now you have things in purple. Domain 1, domain 2 is the part thickness, and domain 3 is the inner surface. And I really want to use domain 1, and I'm going to go ahead and click on next. That's already picked. It's purple. Click OK. It creates the skin for that domain. Now what other options I have, I really want to do mirror this part over. So we have options of mirroring, which is nice. I'm going to pick the surfaces, and I'm mirroring the surfaces. Now I want to kind of align these surfaces. It says start a draw development. These are two files I want to start the draw development with, and then I want to position these files. This one, it says pick the one you want to move. That's the one I want to move. The one is purple, and then select an edge or an alignment edge on the skin, and I want to align those. Give it a distance, about 10 millimeters. That's plenty. And I can also click on show box. It shows you the overall box length and width and depth of these file. Alright, click OK. The next option, define tipping. Defining tipping, you have all these options here, and you have an automatic which does pretty well for the most part, but I like to kind of enforce it to go in that direction. That's my punch direction. The yellow arrow gives me the opportunity to see where my direction is going. The other options you have is an axis, screen capture, you name it, and then you have display. You can display if there's any undercuts. It will show you if there's any undercuts. Also, it will show you the draw depth, the deepest part of that tool, which is about 60 millimeters. Pretty deep drawn. And then I'll click OK. Now I have already established my tipping direction, and here now I have a punch direction, look at top view, direction A, which is the front view, and the side view or right view. And that's how this part looks. The next option we have is create a binder, or actually right here, the binder. You can follow the wizard, or you can follow these icons. And notice these are kind of grayed out. You're not there yet, but you can follow the wizard or the icon base here, or you can click on the wizard, which it does the same thing. In this case, I want to go ahead and use a flat binder. We have other options by faces or silhouette, but I want to use the flat because it was fairly flat. Hit the preview, and you can slide ruler here to go beyond the extent of this part, and then I click OK. The next one says position the binder. For positioning, basically we're looking at depth wise, and I'm going to go to side A, and now here's it's giving me the negative. You can also use the slide ruler here, but I'm going to go ahead and type in negative 20 mils and click OK. Next option, bridge skin. The bridge skin, you have two options, either a patch or a bridge skin, and I'm just going to show you both of them fairly quickly here. You have two sides, part A, part B per se, or part 1, part 2, and I'm just going to pick an edge. Oh, hold on right there. And then you get this, grab a point and just kind of extend it out. And I'm just going to go near that point, close to that edge, and click on snap, and it snaps to the nearest edge. And I'm happy with that. And I'll show you some other features here, what you could do. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to pin this down because I'm not done with it. I'll pick the same features here, and I'm going to snap that, and I'm going to hit OK. Now once we hit OK, the system now is bridging the gap between those two surfaces. It may or may not work perfectly all the time because it depends on the surfaces and the amount of surfaces you have crossing each other. So those points have to match, and if they don't match, you'll have this twisted surfaces in the middle. And if that happens, basically you just have to kind of shorten that distance to kind of eliminate that problem. But that's normal in any CAD system that you're doing blending function, that amount of edges on part A don't equal the amount of edges on part B, and those are the problems that everybody faces. But looking at this feature here in SDF, we can create these surfaces with one button fairly quickly. So there you have it. And I'm happy with the result actually. And click OK or cancel that out. And let's zoom up on it so you can see it. It's fairly good. Very nice. Create these surfaces here. Now you can use the other features. Let's take a look at this other feature. The notches. And notches basically you're looking at, let me zoom up here. You're looking at endpoint or start point and endpoint. And then I'm going to pin that because I want to continue with this feature and hit OK. And basically, it fixes that. So, oh, and by the way, I didn't hit the snap feature, and notice it was whatever what pick was. So I'm going to delete that. I really don't like that. Yep, delete that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the notch, and I want to make sure the pin is down and the snapping feature is on. So there. Notice now it snapped at the end points. I'm going to do the same thing here. And I really like it. It's pretty fast. Now you don't have to pick one at a time. You can really actually go from extreme to extreme, and it will do its best to patch between those two. It did pretty good actually. So let's do the other side. The other side here, same features, same functionality. I'll do one at a time. There's that. There's that. And the final one here. And I'm happy. I'm not going to finish this. I'll show you how this gets eliminated by other functionality. I don't have to worry about gapping these holes here. So I'm happy with that. Alright, next. It says here create. The wizard will guide you through again. It says create a part extension curve. This part extension, basically you tell it how far do you want to go extend the surface of boundary offset, and I want to go to let's say 10 millimeters. You can go 5, 3, whatever you want to offset, and then the radius will start from there. The radius for the punch radius up on top here, this would be 12, and let me make that 13.5. I don't like 12, it's just a little bit less than half an inch. I like to be beyond half an inch just for machining purposes. Boundary, and then smoothness. You can control the smoothness of these surfaces. Notice how rough they are, but you can kind of clean them up. And the convexity of these surfaces, if you, let's see if I can zoom up here, and you can see these distances here and what's happening when you change. It's actually moving things around, and I really don't want to. I want them to be planar to that surface, so that's fine. The next feature says create a curve on binder, which takes all that and extends it over beyond that point. Let's go to punch direction, and a die profile radius, which is at the bottom here, 8 millimeter. Draft angle, I'd like to go 10 millimeter. And then you can also change the smoothness again with this file too, and you can change the, see how it's kind of curved in. You can change these lines to be more of a straightforward lines as best as possible, that the system can figure that out. And now we can go ahead and generate the addendum. It will create an extension surfaces, then it will create the radiuses. It will extend the surfaces down at 10 degrees. We'll put the 8 millimeter radius at the bottom, extend to the bottom addendum, and we'll also trim that to that part. So let's see how that's how the system gets it done. Fairly quickly, and I don't see any other software that can do this as quickly as it did here. Notice here in the middle, we didn't fix that, and it just kind of, the smoothness kind of took over here, and which that's what we wanted. It may not be ideal part design, but you get the point. Now, if you have a wheel housing, you can kind of work with that. And my next demo file hopefully will be the wheel housing, so you can see the difference between a flat binder and a curved binder. And there you have it. This is Sculpture Die Fase. It created all these surfaces automatically. I didn't have to plug in, extend, trim, you name it, as we go through creating these surfaces. Alright. We can actually generate tooling here. And the tooling are done. Die, punch, and a blank holder. Those are the 3 automatically created. Now we can take these files out and export them to export to incremental. So now we're going to export those to incremental. So we're going to say project 1 to fast incremental. And we'll say export that out. So the tool, we're done with Sculpture Die Fase. This is very exciting and really neat. And my next video will be importing this file into fast incremental, and you can see the difference. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to call me. My number is 586-524-2256, or you can email me at mkju, K-A-J-U, at forming technologies. I'm sorry, mkju@forming.com. And thank you for watching.